Right. So because of upload speeds, the past couple of days videos have been slow to upload. It was okay. This was a Sunday and I wasn't really working. I was sort of bumbling around thinking after the election results and waiting for branch offices to get set up so we can get the IT infrastructure linked with more physical infrastructure in Scotland. So the proximal concern can be helping the Scots while things organically take place in Birmingham. At this point, anyone in the chain who wants to start investigating has got a great setup to find out what's been happening in Birmingham because we've done the work for you. So the beginning thing I can catch up with this is I'm a Bumstead County Court officer, or was, depending on what Bumstead Council says. I was a filthy little gremlin according to them, so I sort of took a rusty rifle shot after a 17-year career at the managing director because she was caught promoting critical race theory in Birmingham. We suggested to her that's not a good idea via a children's story that involves child safeguarding concerns, and of course, based on the history of the city, entirely legitimate ones, because people have died based on the callousness of the local authority, and her behaviour would do that, and could be demonstrated to do that by various sort of American authors and British as well. But that was back last year. I think we did that in sort of, it was prior to October, so September, October. We're now in June, so she's had a year to come clean of her behaviour, and she hasn't. But since then, having to actually had to flee her city, we've been busy. So I've been replaced by the assassin. We've now got lots and lots of technology. We're very well set up and safe north of the border in Scotland. We are physically safe, and the gun that took a shot at her has been upgraded. So we were dealing with her via Chinese telephone while homeless for most of the past year, or a fair chunk of the past year, I should say. But now the rifle is more powerful, and the shot that's gone through her head anyway is going to land more heavily. But there she is. There's Joanne Roney and her anti-racist city. So her head has been shot off. It's lying on the floor, and we're sort of looking at her corpse at the moment because her career is totally over. And the policeman is looking at her saying, "My word, what are you doing?" But the problem Birmingham has in the background is her legacy. So these are very sort of angry, demonic creatures called Bumstead Council employees, and they've been promised a magical substance called equity, which will fix all their problems by Roni. Because equity isn't real; it's just sort of a language game by communists to associate the positive value of equality with equity, which means we'll do what we want behind the scenes generally. John Cotton has lost power because the city has decayed into this sort of corruption and violence and filth under his tenure, because he went along with the gangs to maintain political power, same as the Australian Premier. So he's lost power and he's about to be eaten alive by the denizens of Birmingham and the rest of the country. Birmingham Labour is in the hands of the revolting familiar Nicky Brennan. The commies do the sort of pathos trick in Birmingham, so they're desperately trying to find a woman, any woman, who will go along with Birmingham Labour and try to enhance their reputation. So in Labour's case, that's Brennan. Claims she loves the housing, etc., but has never been seen by me, and is running it. In the background, you've got the HR goblins, Darren Canning and Kate Fox, who pump revolting sort of Maoist propaganda into the corporate communications to create more squigs, because the more resentful they are, the more work Canning and Fox have to do. Well, of course, not actually looking after the health of their employees at all, actually attacking their employees for going to doctors. But among the squigs, there are a particularly dangerous kind of squigs. So these are generally the residents of Green Lane Pakistani Muslims. So the Orc War boss has gained access to corporate communications and was blasting genocidally racist literature to the children of the Celts after Southport. So he's behind John Cotton and telling him what to do. Give us power, John Cotton, or something will happen to you. And Cotton, of course, has gone along with this. And of course, as soon as they gain power, they're orcs. They don't give a shit about you. They're going to shoot you in the back. So Cotton's gone. But behind him in the background is Mohan Chahal, the contracts works officer. So this is a gene stealer. So this person is obviously just attacking the British using the corporate communications technology, and has very segregated meetings with the war boss and race communists from Birmingham University to work out how to attack us better. But because I'd seen all that over a long time, got stuff into the press, done huge amounts of work for several years, counterintelligence, they're all totally screwed. So once the laptop, witness statements, evidence and stuff can be got into those guys, they can connect with Westminster Police, and the Restore Britain Dreadnought goes into Birmingham and just incinerates the lot. So you think of it basically like there's all these people doing their day jobs in Birmingham, so they're looking at proximally, but because they're so stupid, they haven't realised that we've been doing counter intel work for many, many years. And when the police, possibly the armed services, if the police can't maintain order to turn up, boom, so a big explosion goes through the whole organisation. Lots of people get sacked, arrested, deported, if Lowe's getting his way, executed, and we maintain order. But the problem is we actually need a political solution. So most of this stuff is already legal under existing law. You can't actually run a British public policy based on intersectionality because it's dangerous. So the police should be turning up and interviewing people under caution, because we've degenerated to the sort of stage where they're trying to unperson their court officers, and their court officers are having to explain the law to them in children's models, and explaining how societies work from first principles, so that they're not trying to attack people and pretend that they're disappearing. But the problem we have is this is all broken down, so the police should already be in. But there's a familiar that's been summoned by the managing director. So this is Deborah Argentieri, I believe that's her name. But her role in this is to be sort of a floating brain. So she's kind of semi-human. It's a physical presence, but you can't really interact with it because it just says blah and has tentacles and tries to eat your face and attack you. So the managing director has sent this to try to discuss things with me, but we can't do it. So we just shoot her head off. So this creature is saying, "You've been very naughty. It's not professional. You're fired." And we're saying, "Well, you have no authority because you haven't spoken to me. There's a law firm around the corner, moron. You can go and call them and have them in, and they could speak to you as intermediary. But if you think we're giving data to someone as corrupt and dishonest as you, well, it's not going to happen, is it? Because you're a brain slug. So go and fetch the managing director, moron. And because this has been going on for several months, go and fetch police." Right? So the police go and interview the managing director. Say, "Managing Director, can you explain what an anti-racist city is?" with reference to critical race theory. They then interview David Gilbourne regarding his work, and all of this can be torn apart. So the gang culture in Birmingham can be smashed apart. If it isn't, then just think about simple logic. The police will eventually turn into actual military units, and the meteor will hit the organisation and blow it all apart. Otherwise, we're going to lose the country. So I don't know. It's a general election pitch, isn't it? Vote for me to prevent this kind of stuff spilling out into your polis. But if you don't want to end up like Birmingham, you may want to vote for Restore Britain, because certainly as a 40-year-old resident of Birmingham, I've had quite enough of interacting with people like this.